walking above the buried city would be walking 30 meters higher than the ground. The walls of the ancient city were quite high, that they reached almost 6 stories. They were the ancient Egyptians who had constructed brick buildings here, followed by the Greeks, then the Romans, then the Coptics. The tops of the rooms of the buildings could be seen, as well as a Nilometer. The ruined city comprises 3 temples that belong to the Greek-Roman period, the most important of which is a temple that lies in the northern part of the city. It's a temple of the Roman Emperor Neron. Beside it is a temple constructed previously to the Roman era. It's a temple of King Thutmose III from the New Kingdom. This king was famous of his campaigns and travels in and out of Egypt. He had ruled from 1458 till 1427 BC. Neron temple is reached through steps that lead to an open court. The base of the temple is composed of limestone. Then mud bricks were built above it, turning the temple into a 3-story building. Cartouches bearing royal names were carved at the front. This temple was consecrated to god Sobek, the crocodile. Sobek is one of the most important ancient Egyptian deities that was worshipped in the shape of a crocodile since the prehistoric ages. According to his nature, he was a god of water and the lord of the marshes where he dwells. His cult started in El Fayum since the first dynasty and was mentioned in the pyramids texts as the son of goddess Nit. During the 12th dynasty, his chapels were widespread in many places, but basically in Old Chedet or the recent Fayum, which was the residence of the kings of the 12th dynasty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we mentioned earlier, in this edition of the Breakfast Show, we'll be talking about the values of Islam, especially as we are celebrating Eid al-Adha, or the Feast of Sacrifice. Islam calls for tolerance, for modesty, for coexistence, and for humanity. And in order to know more, we're very much delighted to have with us over the phone Dr. Magda Amer, Azhar researcher. A very good morning to you, Dr. Magda.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Magda. Now,
yes.
Can you talk to us, Dr. Magda, about the importance of using the holidays to strengthen family bonds among all family members?
It is recommended during the holiday, especially during the feast, to visit each other, to exchange greetings to each other, to exchange even gifts, and to keep the smile is very important and unite the heart. Many people, being members of the family, they have this dispute together, and it's an opportunity to reconcile between them and to be gathered, inshallah, and the children have to learn from the adults and exchange, maybe knowledge, and exchange like gifts for each other, and eating together and so on.
Yes.
So
Dr.
in
Magda,
general,
Yes, please go on.
After the Eid, let's say that it's after this holiday, we recharge our energy, and we recharge and we're ready to start to work, and this unity should be also applied during work. So the Prophet ﷺ, he always said he emphasized on the collective work, how it is very important, and how we should keep united together and be away from any division. Yes. So any successful collective work means that they have to be disciplined. And during Hajj, of course, we noted that it's a journey of discipline, and many things are forbidden and so on. Mm-hmm. And the goal, of course, of the collective work would be to enjoy the good and keep the best community. So I have many tips, let's say, for this successful work. They should respect each other. Every member of any collective work should be respecting each other, appreciating each other, learning to listen to each other, very important, and even keep this healthy competition between every member of this collective work. If there is a solution, should be easy, should be available, not costly. And of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He likes very much when we perfect our work. So in general, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He recommended, He said, when two persons are working together, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the third one, as long as they don't cheat each other. So we should be keen about, be honest while working, and as the Sharawi said, work according to the energy, على قدر الطاقة وليس على قدر الحاجة. It means we need to work sincerely, even if we don't need the money, subhanallah, because some people are crippled, so they need the money, so we share together this income. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said also, the one who feels exhausted at night because he worked hard during the day, he's forgiven by Allah at that night. Subhanallah. So it is very important to be honest, not only by praying and we evaluate a good believer by praying and fasting. No, also by perfecting our work. And we have to understand that the Prophet said the honest merchant is resurrected on the day of judgment with the truthful and the martyrs. Yes. That means you can have a very high rank just by being honest while working. Subhanallah, by not cheating and hiding the defect of whatever you're selling, for instance, but by not monopolizing. We know now people, they start to monopolize and hide the good so that the price will raise, and this is haram, is illegitimate in Islam. So by weighing with justice, saying the truth, the Prophet ﷺ, he was so truthful people, that this is the best way to give a good image and be ambassador of Islam. He was so truthful that and honest that all the disbelievers even trusted none except the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he is our role model. We need really to be easy. Let's say, سهل إذا باع, سهل إذا اشترى. That means it will be easy to sell, easy to buy. And giving a model, role model, really. Why you can spread Islam just by being honest, by being trustworthy. I would like to shed some light about Shane Ecker. Is a famous bestseller. He said, "Is happiness comes first, or the fruits of collective work comes first, and then they are so happy." Definitely. No, it is. He gives really a tip, amazing tip for all the collective work. Is that they should raise the baseline of happiness before starting to work. Yes. So the research has proven that, for instance, if you compare two groups in a hospital, and then they start by yoga, for instance, by walking in an open area. I mean, you raise your baseline of happiness, and then they start to like work. Subhanallah, they notice that the creativity and mental, especially creativity, increased. The physical health was very, very high, and they were really motivated to achieve the goal. So this hospital that started the day by spreading happiness among the doctors and the nurses were more successful, and they have better reputation and even better diagnosis and better healing and everything compared to those the other hospitals that didn't start by raising the baseline of happiness. So in general, we give some clues and tips for collective work is to first start by raising the rank of happiness, by respecting each other, by consultation, as the Prophet ﷺ used to consult everybody around him, by mutual understanding, especially, and collaboration and healthy competition.
In your own opinion, Dr. Magda, how is religion encouraging people to coexist and live together despite the diversity among them?
Well, the only way is we emphasize on أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم. It is very necessary for it to be successful. Is to if we have a leader, is to submit to the discipline and commandments of the leader. If we really, as each one is worshiping, as we said, worshiping his desire or whatever he wants, and this is will create, of course, division between us. So we have to enjoy the good, forget the evil, and be keen about to fulfill the goal of the collective work and not the personal work. This is unity under one leader is very important, and obedience to him is number one cause of success.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Magda, how can we seize the opportunity of Eid al-Adha or feasts in general to solve disputes among family and friends, to bring people closer to each other, especially the relatives?
Yeah, as I said, during the whole year they had disputes for money, for worldly problems. It's about time to reinforce their piety. As we said before the feast, we have 10 days of detachment somehow from this worldly life and from especially inheritance issues and financial problems. And so when they are united unite the hearts. When we reinforce our faith, then we reunite also our heart together, and we have to be dutiful to the parents, and respect the parents, and so it's an opportunity to be aware of our behavior. How really are we really giving time to respect our parents and be and pleasing them and spreading smile and joy for them or not? not? Are we cause of really happiness for them or not? And the opposite is true. That the young should respect the elderly should also take care of the youth and implement in them good treatment and good conduct and good moral values, and not only raise them as they care about the sports, okay, about education, great, but what about moral values and they should like implement the ethics of respect, ethics of apology, ethics of taking permission, be punctual, and so and so and so. So it's, mashallah, it's an opportunity to be aware of our behavior and how we should adhere to the family and care about the family. And also the husband and wife, we have a very high incidence of divorce actually. So it's an opportunity to reconcile together and to be, take care of the family because, and the children, and not only about succeeding at work. So they should give time to travel and spend time together, enjoy this time, and recalling all the nice souvenirs when they got married. And so this is raised that, mashallah, tightness together and happiness in general.
Yes. Dr. Magda Amer, as a researcher, thank you very much for being with us this morning in the Breakfast Show, and wishing you, of course, and your family a very happy feast. And ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of this edition of the Breakfast Show. We wish you all a happy feast and a very good day. I'm Hala Al-Hamalawi, signing off.
Thank you.